Geocaching the 4-H way. University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Services. Geocaching is a coined phrase in a community of nature enthusiasts. Honestly, these are folks that absolutely love real life treasure hunting, because that's what geocaching pretty much is. So geocaching is essentially seeking to find geocaches. Geocaches come in lots of different forms. They're always in a weatherproof type of container. They may vary from really small, like the end of my thumb type of small, to a sandwich container size box, to something a little bit larger, a small toolbox or something like that. They can vary in lots of different shapes and kinds because the geocache community has developed these over time. So it's not necessarily one company that makes all these different things. This is more of a community of folks who all have same interest and who establish these. So on your geocache hunts, you will find that there's an app. So this is the structure for geocache is based upon accessing geocache on the geocache website or on a phone app is a bit easier to use. But essentially on your app, you're able to pull up on your geocache app a map of different geocaches that are located in your vicinity. So that's how you get to locate geocaches. My video is going to explain quite a bit more about that. In this video, I've included the official website link that you can add to access there. I've included an introduction video, and I've also included a link that kind of directs you to the type of caches that are out there. Some other important parts that I also did want to show you in addition is to explore their website a little bit and to understand about the different geocaches that might be available. I want you all to realize that geocaches come in all shapes and forms. So here you've got 8 different pictures, and even the second picture here that's got the white background shows numerous options here. It shows something that looks almost as small as a little pill bottle to everything from the size of a sandwich box to a wooden kind of device that is actually intended to hide things. It is, you see in the bottom right-hand corner, one covered in rocks that's intended to be hidden a little bit more creatively. A lot of them are just in a regular container with a geocache official marking on the outside. Some of them aren't necessarily marked with a significant detail, but most times they will have at least the word geocache written in it, even if it does not have the Geocache official logo on the outside of it. Even some of these pictures kind of depict some locations. Geocaches are always, there are a series of rules that individuals using the geocache have to actually follow. So if they are creating a geocache, they can't put it in places that are unsafe for people to go. Height options, like they wouldn't like put it up in a tree where no one can find it. It's got to be obtainable, right? It may be significantly hidden, and that's a different story, but it's got to be something that people can reach and can access, and that's not going to cause significant harm to locate. So I actually went on a geocache adventure, and we will be sharing more about that. I have a video to kind of explain a little bit more, but as we continue to kind of, understand what geocache is, I think it's important to kind of do your homework or kind of, know a little bit more before you dive too much into it. So additionally, I'm going to pop back to their website. The geocache website looks like this. So you can see in the upper right-hand corner, I have developed a profile already. So you all can see that I have a profile up here that's created right here. You can access a variety of different things. So the point of geocaching is, and it's not like those, and it may remind you, I know those Pokemon games are kind of similar, but this is actually something that's well recognized by conservation communities. It's very education based. It's encouraged to really develop outdoor enthusiasts. Some other options with this website, and of course I can't hit everything, But if you were going to decide to go geocaching, you would want to view the map and see what is nearby. If we were to zoom out and look at locations near Scottsville, which is where I was looking at yesterday, there were several located in this vicinity. Within a 2 to 3 mile radius, actually, there was probably even more than what I indicated in the video, because as I got to looking more, I realized, oh, there's quite a few more. So there was one, the one that we are going to be looking at in the video was located in our public park in this vicinity over here. So a lot of times they will use public parks. They're not allowed to place it on a lot of private property unless there is, approval by those landowners. So there are a lot of guiding rules that make sure that you are not breaking any laws or anything as you're participating with on your geocache. So that's a little bit of navigating the website. So for instance, I'm going to go and look at this one that's in the Pocket Park. Miss Anna is hesitant to say, but she will be honest, she did not find this first one. So I was a little bit kind of down in the dumps because I hadn't found this first one. When I'm looking, so there's different difficulties. So let's look at this Pocket Park, this one called Pocket Park AC. When I looked at the map and I selected, oh, this one's close to me, so I get to see the details on this closest one. I can look at a variety of different things. It tells me how difficult it is for that one to be found. It tells me the type of terrain. Is it very difficult to find? And the size. So the size can indicate whether it's a micro size, small, medium, large, or an additional size. It will sit there and tell you, other people, it'll allow people to log. So you can see that yesterday I had to log, wondering if the recent flooding moved this geocache, was not able to locate. But just a couple weeks earlier, before the flooding, someone had found it. So that indicates that, it's recent, it's up to date. Maybe I just simply didn't have luck with it. Other things that are provided to you are descriptions. So this one even tells me some are more descriptive or more tricky than others. But this one identified that it was a small coffee ground container, big enough to hold trinkets. Things that they might include in descriptions is whether there's a writing utensil. So they said there is a pencil, but just in case, bring your own pen or pencil. So that's some geocache terms there, the BYOP. And then they said there is a log attached to the lid of the container, but you might need a flashlight. So they're indicating that it's probably under something or in a dark vicinity. There is a stage located in the Pocket Park. So as much as I tried, I really didn't have luck with that one. So I was a bit disappointed, but I was able to find one that was located at the park. Here's the one we found. So this is actually going to be a kind of clue to the one that we found. So let's look at this one. So when I was looking at local ones, I get to mark, you saw my previous one had a blue sad face. This one, I get to report when I find it that, yay, I found it. It gets a yellow smiley face. The details for this one, they name each of the locations. Biophilia means a interest for plants. So that's why that person names it. That the difficulty, they named it as a 1, and you'll see based upon, how I found it, that it probably was a 1. Terrain, it is in a forested area. It tells you kind of an idea for size. You get hints and descriptions. So they had a very extensive description on their, what they provided. But the big hint is that it is low and between 2 trees. So that's what I was going off of when I found it. And then I later got to record. So anyways, that is a really quick dive into it. There are also a variety of different geocache types. So a traditional geocache, like the one that I found, is going to be traditional. I noticed if you saw near my work, there was one called an earth cache. That would be, they specifically found a public springs, and they have dropped essentially a geocache point where they are not encouraging you to find a specific geocache box, but to locate something or go view a unique earth marking. There's a variety of different types, and you can identify this based upon, and I can't go through all the icons. Another one that I'm really eager to maybe find is a cash in, trash out. So this is actually encouraging people to clean up and to preserve nature areas as they go along their geocache hunting. So that was pretty exciting. It's definitely continuing their mission of, you know, environmental friendliness and just encouraging people to get out and to explore. Hopefully, as you kind of see, there's a lot going on with geocache. But to better understand it, I'm going to share a video with you all so that you can really see what it looks like. I hope you all will see that geocaching is almost the epitome of outdoor adventures. If there was something that, you know, really screams outdoor adventures, it's this activity here. All right, so we have a video I'm going to share next.
All right, today we are on a hike. Miss Anna you all know that Miss Anna loves to hike. More specifically today, it's a little cooler this month, but I really have wanted to give geocaching a try. So that's what we're doing today. I have used the geocaching app to be able to locate some local treasures. Now, if you're not familiar with what geocaching is, it's essentially using GPS and geography to be able to pinpoint GPS locations to help us navigate. And there are treasures that have been hidden, like millions of treasures all over the United States and all over the world, where other people of the geocache community have hidden items. Now today, I've already been looking in one location and didn't have much luck. So we're gonna give this place a try. We're at our local Dugas Park here in Scottsville, Kentucky. There's one, but it's in a natural trail area. So stay tuned as we continue to hike and look for this closer geocache, and wish Miss Anna some luck because she's gonna need it. All right, hey guys, thanks for joining us. During this outdoor adventure segment, we are exploring geocaching. I'm really excited because this is a brand new kind of skill for me, a brand new hobby. It's something I've been wanting to try for a while, and I said, you know, why not? If you're anything like me, I lose inspiration during the cooler months to get out, stay active. I love being outdoors, but I struggle with it a little bit, or to find that creativity of doing something new. So today we're talking about geocaching and how geocaching can be a really great way to get out, get active, have some great family time. These should definitely be activities that are done with a responsible adult, a parent. But essentially, geocaching, if you're not familiar with what that is using geographic locations with GPS. So we're looking at longitude and latitude numbers to be able to determine where something specifically is located. It's even better than an address because it is very precise, very specific, and that allows us to be able to capture a very unique location with GPS units. Now today we are doing a geocache search. Now Miss Anna has already been searching for a while, so she's going to kind of reveal what she's found at this point, but I want you all to kind of experience some of that excitement and the outdoor adventures. So let's stay tuned and let's see how that actually looks. So when you are geocaching, there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Of course, safety, always travel in numbers. Geocaching is finding small little gifts or items that it's almost like treasure that someone has hidden. So it's a real life treasure hunt in your communities. Geocache is a website which allows folks to download an app or get on a computer and get unique GPS locations to be able to find specific treasures. when you're looking for these items, the people who have placed those may give you some hints and say, you know, it's located between trees, or it is, you know, it's high, it's low, it's in a variety of different areas. They get you within, you know, 20 feet of your subject or your object, but you don't know exactly where it's at. So that's when the scavenger hunt comes about. So when I arrived at this particular location at Dugas Park in Scottsville, Kentucky, I said, oh, fun. They chose an outdoor location with lots of trees. That definitely was chosen very creatively. And there's a beautiful creek that runs alongside the trail here at Dugas and Dumont Park. So once my location led me to, my app led me to this particular location, then it's my job to start looking. Now, my person who has created this one did give me some clues and said it was low and between two trees. And that really was not, of course, very detailed, and of course that's on purpose. So I also get to know how hard the item is to find, so they'll tell you difficulty. They'll also describe the terrain. I was told this was a medium-sized object rather than a small or micro size or even large size. So I knew I was looking between two trees, somewhere down low. But as you can see, there are trees everywhere. And I said, how in the world can I find this? Now, I got to looking pretty extensively and kept marching around. Something unique to consider is during different seasons, you may have a lot of ground cover. And as you can tell, this terrain is a little bit on a hill. So there's lots of different things going on here. But eventually, as I continued to look around, and I said, okay, if they described it as being with two trees, where's unique locations where trees are clustered together, which may identify where two trees might be. So then I spotted these guys right here, this set of two trees. And if you can spot it there, I have found my very first ever geocache. And it's in this box yet, and I haven't opened it up yet, so you all get to see the surprise with me. But this is a prime example of what a geocache might look like. But the containers, of course, may vary quite a bit depending on the location and who hid that item. So let's check it out and see what's going to be in this geocache box. All right, we've now found our geocache box. So this is the big moment of reveal. Miss Anna has not even actually opened it herself. There's lots of fun thorns around here. As you'll see, this particular geocache has actually been marked with a spray paint seal that says official geocache. So this is a great example of what one might actually look like. It's very sealed, weather sealed. I don't know about you all, but I am super excited to open this up. So let's take a look and see what our surprise is. Oh, wow, there's lots of cool things in here. So let's check it out. This one looks like it's probably pretty kid friendly. So we've got some Hot Wheels toys that are in here. That's a really cool find. Looks like a variety of different surprises have kind of developed over time. There is, of course, the really important part, which is going to be the list, okay? This is where you sign in and say that you have found your geocache. So I definitely get to leave my mark and identify that I have, in fact, found it. There's lots of kids' toys in here. So there's a little snake. There's all sorts of goodies. There is a Happy Meal coupon that expires in 2022. So this helps us to know that, you know, somebody left this pretty recent. It's March of 2021 right now. So this is a pretty up-to-date kind of gift that they left us. Somebody left a Wendy's toy where you kind of build it. It's a dinosaur, kind of build on your own type of activity. Cool. We have a Nerf bullet. We have a toy praying mantis. We have a little pink horse. Wow, there are all sorts of goodies. This has exceeded my expectations. There is a lighter. There is a frog toy. There is a, oh, this is from one of the newer Disney movies or Pixar movies. Cool. The fort guy. There is a little cardboard Mickey Mouse cutout. There is a pin and a second pin as well. Okay, this says Warren on it, so maybe somebody even from Warren County. And a domino. So these are all really cool finds. It is so cool, all the different surprises that people have put in here. Some people will choose things that are very unique to their particular location. You are encouraged to actually take the items out of the geocache box, but they do heavily encourage you to leave something. So the point is to take something and to leave something. So I guess I would have to decide, you know, which one of these items is, you know, gonna be my trinket that I want to take with me. And while these are all super cool trinkets, I really think this blue praying mantis is super cool. So I think this is gonna be my trinket that I'm gonna keep. You know, you can see that he clings really well to this tree, this fake praying mantis. I really like him. I'm gonna return these other items, and of course I'm gonna finish up, oh, and can't forget the McDonald's gift card, but I'm going to finish up by actually filling out the geocache log. So this is really important. This is the claim to fame that you actually found it. So this says that it was placed on April 2019. So really cool. People get to put their code names, so I get to put my code name as well. They've luckily left a pin, but they do encourage for folks to bring their own pins, because that's not always a given. So I get to put that the date today is March 5th of 2021, and I get to see the previous person came through here on February 7th of 2021. Guys, that's literally super recent. That is within a month. The last person has been here within 1 month of when I'm arriving today. So that's just really, really neat to know that this is active. This isn't something that people just come through and do every once in a while, that, you know, it's a lost cause or it's never really actually viewed. This is like a real thing. So this is a really neat find. I'm super excited. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a brand new hobby for me. Geocaches can be found in your community too. Once you actually locate your and download your geocache app, you will be able to find lots of different local things in your community. Just within about 2 miles of my office, I found 3 different locations, and that was just within 2 or 3 miles. There's significantly more located around the county, and there's lots of things to find. So I am now taking my praying mantis, but I am now returning my box where I found it, nicely secured. No other muggles are around, but then I'm going to leave an item. All right, y'all, we found our geocache. I am super excited about finding this location. Like we revealed, there's lots of fun, exciting things inside of this geocache here. We took the blue praying mantis, but it's really important, and it's all part of the geocache system, that you leave something. So because, you know, we bleed blue and we bleed green for Kentucky Extension and green for 4-H, I wanted to leave a kind of really unique kind of gift. It's something that luckily fits inside of our box, but we've got a t-shirt from our UK Allen County Extension office, and we have a 4-H wristband. So I wanted to kind of show that we are very supportive here in the community. So I'm actually going to place this inside of the box and squeeze it in here. It's going to make for a tight fit with everything else that's kind of collected over time. But see, we have placed our items here, our t-shirt. I'm super excited to see, if only you could actually see the next person's face as they get to open this. Lots of fun goodies for that person to choose from. And that's all part of the geocache activity. So we really encourage you to try this for yourself. I really enjoyed this activity, and I definitely plan on geocaching more in my future.
This is definitely something you saw a list of rules. This is definitely a family activity. We are not encouraging anybody to go off on their own. This should be a parent supervised or family adult member supervised activity. So keep that in mind. There's some other little ground rules. Before I flip back to the how to get started, because I'm going to reference it, I would like to share that Miss Anna knew about geocaching and kind of knew the basics of it, but there's some 4-H resources that I want to share. It was not created by Kentucky 4-H, but we want to give props to Purdue Extension for creating a Geocaching the 4-H way curriculum. This was a really helpful resource. I looked over and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I could see our kids diving into this. They have some notes from the authors. They've got some basic information about 4-H for anyone that might be brand new to 4-H. And then they talk about the basics of geocaching. They give an introduction, how to get started, some terms. I forgot to define what muggles are. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, they also use the term muggles. But that's essentially any bystanders that may not know what geocaching is. You're intended to be kind of secretive about, like, not be overly open about, selecting or getting that geocache. You want to be kind of keep it hidden. Geocoins, there's a variety of other things. And they even have tracking geocaches to where that's an extended element to where, like, if you found a geocache, there's some that are intended to be moved geocaches. So you might travel to another state and hide it somewhere else. Devices on those particular ones, the travel bug ones. So lots of different terms. They do encourage bringing a pen. This is a really great resource, even more extensive than what I discussed. Definitely something that if you're excited about this, definitely print this guide off and use it, because this is a really great way to learn more about our environment and to stay active. All right, so back to it. How to get started. So this is logistically what you need to know, right? This is the important stuff. How do we get started? If this is something you're interested in, you can even see that geocache icon on the far right on some of those phone images. But essentially, you're going to want to download the Geocache app. You can use it from a desktop and you can request the specific GPS point. So if you had your own GPS unit, you could use, you would not have to have the app. You could use your own GPS unit in order, one that allows for GPS points, and you can do it that way. But I will recommend the phone is a very easy option if you have a good smartphone. Then you're going to create your own geocache profile that helps you kind of keep up with the things that you have found. You can search for local geocaches in your area. So that was some of my beginning description there, is how to actually search for local geocaches. You can select a geocache to track. So once you determine, you look at the difficulty, the terrain, the closeness of where you're at, find one, look at the details and find the hints. Other things we want to remind you as you get started is to have an emergency backpack stash of things. This is not suggesting or even encouraging that, we expect you to get into a survival mode where you need these things per se. But if you do, you've got these items. So we encourage you to take medical or first aid items, some food items, some survival supplies, just in case, just small items that can help with that. Only travel with a parent or approved adult. Definitely have parent permission. We encourage you to wear appropriate hiking shoes, whether that be tennis shoes or true hiking shoes, and clothing. You can layer up, is very smart. Make sure you've got warm enough clothing. Bring along a writing utensil, really important. A pen is great. You're going to want a well-charged GPS and smart cell phone. This is one thing I would heavily encourage is, when you've got an app like that up on your phone, it may require much more battery. So having even some of those battery packs as a backup might be really helpful. We do not want you to waste all of your phone battery and put yourself in a position where you don't know how to get back. So be super aware of your surroundings as you're coming in and out of your particular location. It would be really good to have a map. And of course, you want that trading item. So stay with an adult, make sure you have the appropriate measures, that you have fail proofed your way in and out of your geocaching experience. Most of these are going to be in public type of areas or on parks. So just keep in mind, these aren't necessarily tracking out in the middle of some random field. They typically are public air. They should be public areas, but just keep those things in mind because we do not want to experience worst case scenarios, but we want to be prepared if we are. And then you will finally, once you've got your app and everything downloaded, use the navigation element within the map to locate your geocache. And then afterwards, you're going to log that geocache. So the app is pretty user friendly. But those are kind of the steps to getting started. We definitely suggest that you explore more through the Geocache website to kind of learn a little bit more. But honestly, geocaching is a bit of one of those, try, experience, see, and do type of things.